Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another show. Have you ever wondered why your coffee maker breaking feels like the end of the world because you're already late for work and your day is starting badly? Or maybe why the slow driver you can't get away from makes you ridiculously angry? I know we've all been there. Today, we're going to look at what seems like unrelated daily frustrations might actually be holding insightful messages about why deep, meaningful relationships feel so unattainable. The connections you learn to make will transform how you view every single irritation in your life. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to give a special shout out to our featured listener of the week, Dr. Annie C. She left me this beautiful review that really touched my heart. She wrote, "Deep and helpful, as someone who was intentionally single for 5 years before meeting the love of her life at age 41, I'm a big fan of self-love and intentionality. In each episode, Lauren Jean offers practical suggestions and honest acknowledgement of what it's really like to be a woman over 40 who's ready to put herself first while remaining open to real love." Dr. Annie, first, I want to say thank you so much for writing that. Your review means the world to me because it captures exactly what this show is all about, which is the delicate balance between self-love and openness to love. Your journey of intentional singlehood, followed by finding love at 41, is such an inspiration to our community. It shows that when we do the inner work and stay true to ourselves, to our hearts, beautiful connections are possible at any age. Dr. Annie, if you're listening, please DM me at the Girl with the Vine Tattoo on Instagram with your email address. I would love to send you a special thank you gift for being such a supportive member of our community. And please remember, everyone, when you leave us a 5-star rating and review, you could also be featured as our next listener of the week, right here on the show. And who doesn't like hearing their name announced on the show? I know I do. I've been there before. Your reviews not only help others find our community, but also let me know that these messages are reaching the hearts that need them the most. Welcome to Intentionally Single, Seeking But Not Settling. I'm Lauren Jean, your host, integrative wellness coach, and hypnotist. Each week, we explore mindset shifts and mind-body strategies to help you live life intentionally single and content while remaining open to possibilities. Unlike typical dating advice, we focus on personal fulfillment to attract genuine love. Join us to transform unconscious patterns and embrace your intentionally single lifestyle. Stop feeling deflated by the dating world and start prioritizing the most important relationship, the one with yourself. Almost 2 weeks ago, I had not a bad day, but a day I would not want to repeat. I was at work in my own head thinking about this podcast, and the next episode I was going to record, which was this idea had not hit me yet. I was deep in thought, but at the same time, I was not wanting to be at work. I wanted to just rest and just enjoy the gloomy winter day, alone and quiet. Well, in a few moments later, after this thought, I sliced my pinky finger wide open with a box cutter. I had to be rushed over to urgent care, and I ended up taking the next 4 days off. And this damn workers' comp program is a pain in my ass. What I didn't realize at that time, when I was panicking and my finger was gushing with blood, was this accident first was giving me exactly what I wanted, which was time to rest. Because what you focus on is what you get, right? This is a mind rule. But it was also trying to tell me something much deeper about my relationship patterns that I had no idea about until I really thought about this and got the idea for this show. The message I clearly got after thinking about it for days at home was that I am enjoying my single life, even though I am dating, not seriously. I enjoy my quiet, restful times when I can just be in peace, in my own head, writing episodes and studying. Yes, I'm currently putting myself out there on the dating apps from time to time, but I'm not actively trying. I'm just there. Because I'm just happy with where I am. But on a deeper level, as a human, I really do desire connection. All right, so I said a lot there, but What I really want you to get is things happen for a reason. You are triggered, accidents happen. Noticing the thoughts that you're having while the accident occurs, this is intuition telling you something. These triggers are why your love life is not yet where you might want it to be. And remember, these are all connected to other areas, not just your love life. So I ask you, what still annoys, irks, or frustrates the F out of you that you can look at and break down and make sense of? And then you can apply that to your current dating life or lack thereof, romantic life. Or is it a message to work more on your self-worth? There are so many ways this can go. So I want you to understand that your mind's primary directive is to first keep yourself safe. So imagine your mind as the world's most sophisticated protection system, constantly watching your environment for anything that might affect your well-being. This system has one primary message that influences everything you experience, keeping you safe both physically and emotionally. This understanding will form that foundation for everything else we're going to explore today about your daily triggers and their deeper meaning for your relationships. So, when your coffee maker breaks on a busy morning or someone cuts you off in traffic, your reaction might seem overreactive to the situation. I want you to know that this is not a flaw in your emotional makeup. It's actually your sophisticated nervous system doing exactly what it is meant to do. Your brain processes these daily frustrations through the exact same neural pathways it uses for processing relationship challenges. To your nervous system, there's no difference between the stress of a traffic jam and the anxiety of relationship uncertainty or any kind of issues that you're having. They are all potential threats that need attention. So currently this semester, I'm taking a class called Lifestyle Medicine, which I am absolutely loving. And I've discovered a really interesting field of study that explains this connection. And forgive me if I mispronounce this complicated word. It is Psychoneuroimmunology, or better known as P&I. So I'm going to explain what this is. Psychoneuroimmunology, I have to say it like 3 separate words so I don't really screw it up and get tongue-tied. So I'll say it again. It helps me practice. Psychoneuroimmunology reveals how your mind, your nervous system, and your immune system work together as this integrative network. Think of it as your body's internal internet, where every part is constantly communicating with every other part. This communication happens through these 3 main components. And I'm going to break them down so that you can better understand how your mind-body connection works. And please understand that this is every human. You can take this term, this understanding, and make the connections of your own issues, whether that be health or relationship, money, self, any relationship that you have. Okay, so let's get into it. And I'm going to do this a little bit slowly so you can really take this in. And you might want to come back to this episode and listen to it maybe in pieces, or take notes if you want, or just go back to where the episode is and look at the show notes because I'm going to break it down for you. You can also get this on the website where the show notes will be. Okay, so first, your body uses molecules called neuropeptides. Think of them as text messages, right? It's very relevant to our world today. So they're text messages between different parts of your body, different parts of your systems. When you feel triggered, whether by a slow grocery line or a relationship tension, these chemical messengers, which are neuropeptides, flood your entire body through your blood, your lymph, and your cerebrospinal fluid. This explains why emotional stress can make you physically tired, like sleepy tired. I've been there plenty of times, from thinking too much or just being on my phone. Or why relationship anxiety might show up as stomach problems or headaches or back pain. I had extreme unexplained tightness in my lower back for months during a really bad relationship back in 2014 when my body was telling me to get the hell out and I was not listening. This was my PNI system activating and giving me the messages through physical pain. I was not getting it. I did not have this understanding then. And I didn't have this understanding for a long time. I get it now, and that's why I'm here to explain it to you in simpler terms so that you can take this and apply it to your life. So this back pain I had during this relationship is a perfect example of a trigger, aka back pain, trying to tell me something about my love life. Lauren, get the fuck out, is what it was saying. Secondly, the next piece is your heart creates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body. Research done by the Heart Math Institute has discovered that this field, this electromagnetic field, changes based on your emotional states. So when you're triggered by daily frustrations, your heart rhythms become incoherent. So they're off. And they're affecting not just your own well-being, but your ability to connect with other people. And this field broadcasts your emotional state into the space around you. So this is why you can feel what others are feeling, and others can feel you. It's like that unspoken weirdness that people feel when they're around one another. You can feel someone else's stress or their sadness or their anxiety, or why you suddenly get this burst of energy or inspiration around someone that is full of energy or what we call high vibe, or why the room goes silent when one person enters the room. We all feel this unseen, unexplainable electromagnetic field because it extends way beyond many feet beyond our reach. So if you're putting your arms out to the side and you're reaching, it goes beyond that. Suddenly, you just get jolted by this feeling or sensation. And it may not be coming from you, but the person near you or several feet beyond you. And this is why we want to surround ourselves with those positive people, those generally happy people or people who see the world in a positive way. Third, the next piece of this is your brain creates what is called Samskaras, which are like the grooves in your brain created by these habitual ways of thinking and acting. These are like deeply carved patterns in your mind, formed by every single relationship experience you have ever had in your life. And this is also a mind rule. The mind learns by repetition. The Sanskrit word samskara refers to these grooves in your brain created by these habitual ways of acting and thinking. And once these patterns are established, they can be really difficult to shift. And this is what I do in my hypnosis sessions. This is what I help people to overcome. Because once these patterns are established, they can be really difficult to shift. And this is why another mind rule is that we humans go to what is least resistant or easier. Even if it's not what we actually want, we generally go towards what is easier. So, interestingly, these thought patterns become so automatic that they operate like background programs on a computer, or, when you forget to swipe up and get rid of all of the apps that you were using on your phone, and they're just constantly running in the background, taking out the energy from your phone and making your battery die. So, for instance, to apply this to your dating life, when your date is running late, your mind instantly activates the relevant samskara. They don't respect my time, or this always happens, or oh my God, I'm never going to find someone reliable. And this isn't just a simple reaction to be kept waiting, but it's your brain examining every single similar experience stored in these neural grooves in your brain, from childhood disappointments to any kind of recent relationship problems that you have had. What's really interesting and important about samskaras is how they connect to your daily triggers. When we stop to examine the many thoughts that pass through our minds during any period, which is a lot, we're not just watching our thinking, but we're energetically getting caught up in it. And we often experience physical reactions like an upset stomach, or a tension headache, or a migraine headache, or just anything physical. And these responses are not random, they're direct manifestations of these deep mental grooves being turned on, just like my back pain that I had mentioned earlier. So, in relationships, these samskaras become really powerful because they don't determine between minor daily irritations and major relationship challenges. An unanswered text message isn't processed as a single, isolated event, but instead it activates the entire track of similar experiences, which is why your emotional response might feel extreme to that particular situation. Your brain is actually responding to every single related stored experience in that particular samskara, which is technically generalization. We're creating what feels like an emotional tidal wave from what appears to be this tiny little trigger that just turned you off. It's like turning that a mountain into a molehill or molehill into a mountain. I can't remember which way it goes. All right, so what makes this understanding really cool is that these triggers appear when your system is ready to address them. And again, it may be really hard at times. And most of the time it is, because things that are here to help you grow, most of the times they are not easy. Sometimes they can be painful. But you have reached a point where this particular trigger keeps reappearing. It's trying to get your attention in many different ways. And it's really just intending to help you move through it, grow, and learn something about yourself that you can use to help your love life, your dating life, yourself. Your psychoneuroimmunology, I have to say that slow, your psychoneuroimmunology gives you specific challenges only when you have the ability to handle them. You are not handed something that you are not capable of handling. And I just want to throw in here that you are a lot more capable than you ever gave yourself credit for. Try something new, try something different, and I'm really sure that you're going to surprise yourself. When you feel intensely triggered by something that seems really small, it's because your mind-body system realizes that this is a growth possibility. Your reaction to a changed schedule will mirror your deeper patterns around this predictability in relationships. Your frustration with a slow driver reflects your relationship with control or patience. And these are just some examples that I'm giving you. You make your own connections. This understanding of everything that I just said can help you transform how you view your daily irritations, the things that just really get to you. I actually used my job as a tool back in 2020 where I used my daily triggers, exactly what I'm sharing here. I am just sharing the science behind this so you can understand how it works in your mind-body system. I want you to think of what happens when someone doesn't respond to your text message right away. When you're feeling attached, your immediate reaction isn't just about the unanswered text message, but it's your entire PNI system stressing, where you hold patterns around connection or validation or trust. The research shows that your body stores these experiences in your cellular memory, in your cells. Each triggered response will create an actual chemical reaction throughout your entire system. And this affects everything from your immune function to your heart rhythms. And just think, only 5 minutes of genuine, I say genuine because it has to be real, self-compassion during these moments, during these triggers, can boost your immune function for 6 hours. 6 hours, that's a lot for just 5 minutes of self-compassion. This is a powerful example of how powerful your emotional responses affect our physical well-being. All right, we're getting to the end here, and I just wanted to give you the basics for today. I provided a lot of information here for you, so I really do want you to go back and take what's relevant for you. I know when I listen to a podcast, there are maybe certain points that really stand out, and those are the ones that I know that I need to take and roll with for that moment. So I give you that. I give you that homework. So before we end here, I have a few more things to say, but before we end here, I want to just bring you this. All of this is what makes this understanding so powerful right now, is the intensity of your trigger response is not random. It is specifically calibrated to the importance of that pattern that it's trying to tell you. So when something small creates a really big reaction, it's because your incredibly smart nervous system realizes that this is time for growth. This isn't a weakness. It is your body's innate intelligence pointing exactly where you are ready to evolve. Guys, when we understand our psychoneuroimmunological system, I hope I said that right, how it works, we begin to see our daily irritations in a completely new light. Every single trigger has within it the knowledge of your entire mind-body communication system. And it's wonderful that we are capable of this. We are humans meant to grow and thrive. This is how we do it, through the hard things. Your reaction to that traffic jam or that text message not being answered is your nervous system showing you how to respond to circumstances beyond your control. The frustration you feel when plans change unexpectedly mirrors the deeper issues about trust and uncertainty in relationships, or even just a relationship with yourself, because that is what this podcast is all about. These triggers, like I have said, appear precisely when your system has built the resilience to face them. Just as your body won't begin healing until it has the necessary resources, your PNI system presents specific triggers only when you're ready to grow through them. So if a specific trigger keeps showing up over and over and over and over, you can begin to put those connections together and understand that it's here because it needs to be faced. This explains why certain situations that once felt manageable might suddenly feel triggering, like things that you might have pushed beyond or under that rug. They're here because they're ready to be dealt with, because your system is ready to access these deeper patterns and allow you to grow and heal, even if it's hard. And believe me, it will be. I'm not going to lie about that. I just want you to remember what I mentioned before, what the HeartMath Institute discovered. Your heart's electromagnetic field extends far beyond your physical body. This means that as you develop a new relationship with your triggers, you're not just changing your internal experience, you're also creating a different energetic environment for all your relationships. I hope that you took this information in and it inspired you to think differently and to take different actions and to understand that your triggers are here to serve you, to help you to understand yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Intentionally Single, Seeking Not Settling. If you have recognized yourself in everything that I spoke about in the patterns of daily triggers, relationship challenges, I want you to know that this awareness alone is important. Your body's wisdom is already speaking to you through these daily experiences that just irk the hell out of you. And they're waiting and hoping for you to understand their language. Notice what is going on in your body and your mind. Put the pieces together. Reach out to me on Instagram at the girl with the vine tattoo or at intentionallysinglepodcast@gmail.com so that I can help you explore these patterns and these triggers together, whether in hypnosis or in coaching. Today's show about triggers and relationships might feel like a revelation or something completely different. It certainly did for me back when I discovered this psychoneuroimmunology. I was actually studying this and working through these triggers back in 2020 before I actually knew the term for it, which is PNI. If this episode has shifted how you view your daily frustrations, please share the episode with someone who might need this perspective. Sometimes the most profound insights come from understanding the science behind our experiences, because when we understand, we can start to make changes in our lives and our thinking. Next week's episode takes this understanding of triggers and patterns even deeper, as we're going to start exploring the really interesting connection between your messy surroundings, like your bedroom or your closet or your car, and your love life. You're going to discover why clearing emotional clutter might be the secret to finally tackling that overwhelming closet, and how your physical space reflects your relationship readiness. This is such an interesting topic. This connection will transform how you view every single unopened drawer in your house or your apartment. Thank you so much for being here. I really look forward to sharing more and really getting into this next topic. Please keep your heart open to all possibilities, and I will speak to you all next week.